Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Seed with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon. It is 1:34 at the time of this recording. PST. PST. Yeah. 1:34. Holy moly. Listen, the market is doing what the market does. We'll get into that. But I really wanted to cover this Twitter thread from Mickey B. Fresh because I think it's really, really important to understand where we are and where we're going in reference to XRP, the XRP ledger, Ripple, the company. David Schwartz did a really, really great interview. We're going to cover that as well. Huge public service announcement coming from Mickey B. Fresh. We'll get into that. So listen, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Listen, the total cryptocurrency market cap is $974 billion. It's down from $3 trillion. The Bitcoin dominance is at 38.4%. Bitcoin is currently trading at $19,518 again. Ethereum is currently trading at $1,325 again. And XRP again is trading at 47 cents. The market is doing what the market does. Shout out to the quant holders. I believe last I checked, quant was up. It looks like it's 26% now on the 7-day. I looked at it earlier today. It was up 31% on the 7-day. Shout out to all the quant holders out there. I think what got quant? Is it quant mammy? Quant mammy? You got Solomon and I believe Kevin Cage and Crypto Eddie. I believe those are all quant holders. If I am not mistaken, some really, really good news, by the way, coming out with Ripple and side chains. I want to cover that. Also, am I going to cover that? Yeah, let's cover that also. But first, let's do this. Public service announcement from that dude, Mickey B. Fresh. Bank of America will never be a Ripple success story. That was from David Schwartz. He has hashtag XRP influencers and hashtag YouTubers, continuous reckless speculation. Regurgitating hype narratives is blinding many in the XRP community from seeing the huge bottom-up side of developments, right? And so, I do my own tweets, right? I kind of, have my own thoughts and stuff. And I asked, I put out 3-5 different kind of tweets around Ripple X, the XRPL Foundation, these grants, because I keep hearing and seeing all these videos about Ripple is, look, retail is out. See you later, retail. Look, we're done with you. I keep seeing these videos, bringing up Dilip Rao videos, and I'm like, well, what the heck is Ripple X and the XRPL Foundation? Why do they have grants? Why do they have grants for retail people to come in and build on the ledger? Why? If they're not doing anything for retail, I'm confused. Just help me out. Wouldn't they nix grants for people to build on the XRP ledger? If Ripple is in charge of the ledger and Ripple is in charge of the ledger and XRP, and hey, that's it. It's for institutions only. I mean, would there be a need for a foundation? That was just me. I'm just an average dude. I'm just trying to put it together. Why would they do all of that? Ripple X and XRPL Foundation. And then I did some other tweets like, oh my God, does Vitze Wen know that he's done? He's toast. Forget about it. He can't do anything on the ledger. The ledger, when you use it, like XRP, right? You built, right? You can do other stuff, but right, transactions, payments, sending money, XRP is involved, right? So I was like, man, poor Vitze Wen is in trouble. Right? So anyway, my whole thing is, it just, for me, it doesn't make sense to continue with this thing that it is not meant for us, that they're trying to make it XRP totally scarce so retail is done. Now the SEC That's another question. That's another thing. Now, if you want to say the SEC is doing their darndest to keep 95% of its investors out of the crypto market, you could say that. That makes sense. Because I know for sure that the SEC could give a crap about retail investors. But Ripple don't care. Brad and Chris Larson don't care. Like, I think with David Schwartz, and I'm gonna let you listen to these videos, there's 2 or 3 of them. He's basically saying they went in one direction at first, realized the challenges, and then pivoted. But once, not only did they just pivot and recognizing the challenges with dealing with the likes of Bank of America and JP Morgan, who are not trying to hear it, it was also how slow the other banks who are open to hearing it, how slow they were able to move. So if you want to be in places, if you want to win and thrive, you got to be where the market is. And that's where that's retail. Retail is it. That's why DeFi is not thriving because of Bank of America. DeFi is not thriving. Aave is not winning because of JP Morgan. Uniswap is not killing the game because of freaking, I don't know, pick one, Fidelity. I mean, what? Right? They went with the market. They took the bottom up approach. That's why they're winning. That's why they're winning. But in any case, let's listen to a couple of David Schwartz stuff. He's got like
adopted. They got universal.
Let's do this one.
Bank of America is a big deal for a press release, but they're never going to be a Ripple success story. So the other thing is, like, Bank of America is a big deal for a press release, but they're never going to be a Ripple success story. It doesn't matter what we do with them. Like, they're never going to use it's never going to be the case where, like, our technology transforms. Or at least not until it's done, not until it's so obvious, right? Maybe in some imagined future where we're wildly successful and take over the world. But like, so the other.
Maybe in some imagined future. Wow. And on a side note of Bank of America, smart. Bank of America is smart. They are playing both sides. They got their foot in the hand in each basket, out of one foot on one side and one foot on the other. Smart. JP Morgan is like, nah, we're the kings. I ain't got my foot on anything over there. Nah, I'm not giving you anything. We're going to cross border negative. We're going to win it with our JPM point. Then JPM Morgan is like Jamie Dimon. And
the thing is like Bank of
Nah. Bank of America's like, maybe they might just, let me tippy toes over here too. That's Bank of
America is a big deal for a press release, but they're never going to be a Ripple success story. It doesn't matter what we do with them. Like, they're never going to use it's never going to be the case where, like, our technology transforms their business. And so it's very hard for bigger companies to sort of push the benefits.
It's never going to be the case where our technology transforms their business. Why? Because the technology is inferior? Nah. Because Bank of America. Bank of America, JP Morgan, top 8 to 10 banks. Yeah, we're gonna take our time. Yeah, and we're gonna take our time. Look, time is on our side. Friction works for us. You coming in here with frictionless solution. Nah, we're good with the friction. See what I'm saying? That's what he's saying.
Customers. So we kind of adopted this strategy of targeting the financial, payment service providers. And then there's the other half of Ripple, which is the half that people are probably more, well, I guess I don't know which side people are more familiar with, but the Ripple is 2 businesses. So one of them is this enterprise payment system. And then the other side is things like NFTs and focus on community and focus on providing tools for smaller developers that.
Hello. This is what I was saying. Ripple X and NFTs and Ripple's focus on providing tools and access. So for developers, what those developers do, is we say when coming in to put a product together for Bank of America. Oh, who's the Zoom wallet for? Is that for Jamie Dimon? Is that for Jamie Dimon? Come on already.
Want to produce sort of, I guess half of us is pursuing top down and half of the company is pursuing bottom up, I guess. So the other
Mickey B. Fresh goes on to tweet, David Katz reflecting on Ripple's initial.
they got sort of big players. And so we decided, what are the biggest players? They're banks.
Okay. Joel Katz reflecting David Schwartz on Ripple's initial efforts to target banks. He admits they should have aimed a little lower because banks are very slow. Ripple pivoted, that's what I just said. Ripple pivoted 3 years ago towards MSPs, money service providers, comma, small banks. You can do another comma if you want to do money transmitter businesses, and more has been successful. Ripple's current strategy is split 50-50 top down, bottom up. They had to pivot. I tell you, Ripple is genius. I tell you guys all the time, Ripple used the blue ocean strategy. It's absolute genius in motion. And they're so lightweight and nimble that they can pivot. They got the best technology out there. Remember, they're the second longest tenured blockchain in existence behind Bitcoin. Remember, the Bitcoin developers came over and built on the David Schwartz, Evan Schwartz, and Stefan Thomas were at one time Bitcoin developers adding to the Bitcoin blockchain. Evan Schwartz, Stefan Thomas, David Schwartz are geniuses. XRP Ledger was built and created to improve upon the shortcomings of Bitcoin.
We went after banks. We probably should have aimed a little bit lower than that. The problem with banks is obviously, like, banks are a big deal. Like the internet got governments to adopt it. They got universities. They got sort of big players. And so we decided, what are the biggest players? They're banks. And we went after banks. We probably should have aimed a little bit lower than that. The problem with banks is obviously, like, banks are a big deal. Like any crypto, right? You know, why would they not want to freeze time where they're now like right at the top? And so aiming just a little bit lower, you have people, you have companies like non-bank financial institutions, payment service providers. These are companies that have the resources to make a big difference. Like scoring one of them using a cryptocurrency-based system matters. You know, it's not like, you know, you don't have to get thousands and thousands of them, but also they're agile and fast moving. Like we had one partnership with a bank where there was a configuration problem on a computer that caused the system not to work. And they're like, okay, well, next quarter, we're going to figure out who's going to do the investigation. And hopefully in 2 quarters, we'll have a report. And then, you know, maybe we have similar problem with a payment service provider. They find the person who made the mistake, they smack them and they fix it. And that afternoon, they're like, hey, you idiot, you get it right next time. And then they're running it. You know, 5 minutes later, they're running again because it matters to their business. So the other thing is, like, Bank of America is a big deal for a press release, but they're never going to be a Ripple success story. It doesn't matter what we do with them. Like, they're never going to use it's never going to be the case where, like, our technology transforms. Or at least not until it's done, not until it's so obvious, right? Maybe in some imagined future where we're wildly successful and take over the world. But like, so the other.
Oh, Mickey B. Fresh. Mickey B. Fresh is funny. Oh man. I mean, look, I tweeted out, look, you know, I said, LOL, freaking love this, right? And I think I tweeted out, it's okay to be entertained. But if you want to win in this space, guys, you have to, like we say on this channel all the time, you're going to have to level up your XRP IQ. You can't just sit around being entertained. You got to know what's up. You have to know what's up. Like, you have to know what's the real deal. Like, what's going on? The real deal. You can't just live on speculation. You can't just live on that. You got to know the real deal. You got to level up your XRP IQ. And by the way, highly recommend you level up your IQ on other digital assets in the space. XRP is not the one. Like this whole it's the one thing is foolish. It is foolish. It doesn't matter if XRP gets to $100 a coin. Is that the only asset you're going to hold? like, really? You know, it's not financial advice, as we all like to say in the space, but I own other assets because this is the digital asset space, not cryptocurrency space. This is the digital asset space. Digital asset space. All the smart guys, the Kevin O'Learys and the Raoul Pauls of the world recognize this is a digital asset space. You gotta level up. You gotta level up. Cryptocurrency is for beginners. This is the digital asset space. So Mickey B. Fresh goes on to tweet, what's bottom up? What's bottom up side? David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, describes Ripple's two businesses, Ethereum Enterprise Payments DLT systems to Ripple Dev, Ripple X Dev, who's focused on enhancing the ledger, the developer platforms and community in all capital letters, and community. That's retail. That's the average Joe and the average Jane. Ripple is not trying to kick the community to the curb. Now, if you want to say that some government entity wants to do something, cool. Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised if Gary Gensler continues to try to push more of the average Joes and Janes out of becoming an accredited investor and out of the digital asset space. Wouldn't shock me in the least. But are you going to let that happen? Are you going to vote with your money where your money is? There's one side of the aisle that is not trying to let you and I win. And there's one side of the aisle that is allowing you an opportunity, believes you have an opportunity, believes you deserve an opportunity to win. That's the fact. That's the fact. Ask Perry M. Boring if you get a chance, if she's willing to be honest. Ask the Ron Hammond guy. Ask Ron Hammond. Ask John Deaton. Ask Jeremy Hogan. It's one side of the aisle. It's like, nah, we need you dependent upon us. And there's another side of the aisle says, yeah, you know, we believe you need access to this digital asset space. That's just the fact. Okay, devs, platforms, and community, XRP community bottom up is where we should be focusing on as a community. So is that a quote? All right, let me see if there's David says that here.
Payment system. And then the other side is things like NFTs and focus on community and focus on providing tools for smaller developers that want to produce sort of, I guess, half of us is pursuing top down and half of the company is pursuing bottom up, I guess would be a way to describe it.
Which are you more excited about? What do you think what excites you more, building it from the top down or building it from the bottom up?
I'm more excited about the bottom up, and I think the bottom up challenge is there's a big challenge with vision. So one of the interesting challenges, so there's lots of technical challenges and like using crypto in new and interesting ways to make things possible that weren't zero knowledge proofs and stuff like that. Technical things that automated market makers do, I find fascinating. So there's kind of that whole aspect that I find very interesting. And then the other one is an interesting business challenge that normally I'm not like a business person, but one challenge that I do find interesting is you have to aim to where the market is. If it's going to take you a year to build a product, you can't build the product to where the market is now, and you don't know where the market is going to be. It took government and military to sort of build it.
Sorry about guys. Sorry about that. I had to answer the phone there real quick. So anyway, let's look a little bit more to David Schwartz here.
But then it took the bottom-up adoption to create like internet service providers in every city was because of bottom-up demand. So I think you need both pieces, and I think it makes sense to sort of work on both. And I think there's synergies when the same company does both. Like, for example, a DeFi lending product is kind of a bottom-up technology. Like that's going to...
Good night. I think I just said that. Any case, I think I just said that. DeFi products on the bottom up. Anyway, hold on, guys. I got to pause this again. Hold on. Well, hopefully, guys, that worked. I've never done the pause so many times in the video, but in any case, I had to run out real quick, but I am back. Let's take a listen to David Schwartz here on this. What is the bottom-up approach? I think I started playing this.
Community and focus on providing tools for smaller developers that want to produce sort of, I guess, half of us is pursuing top down and half of the company is pursuing bottom up, I guess would be a way to describe it.
Which are you more excited about? What do you think is, what excites you more, building it from the top down or building it from the bottom up?
I'm more excited about the bottom up, and I think the bottom up challenge is there's a big challenge with vision. So one of the interesting challenges, Alex, so there's lots of technical challenges and like using crypto in new and interesting ways to make things possible that weren't zero knowledge proofs and stuff like that. Technical things that automated market makers do, I find fascinating. So there's kind of that whole aspect that I find very interesting. And then the other one is an interesting business challenge that normally I'm not like a business person, but one challenge that I do find interesting is you have to aim to where the market is. If it's going to take you a year to build a product, you can't build the product to where the market is now, and you don't know where the market is going to be. It took government and military to sort of build it. But then it took the bottom-up adoption to create like internet service providers in every city was because of bottom-up demand. So I think you need both pieces, and I think it makes sense to sort of work on both. And I think there's synergies when the same company does both. Like, for example, a DeFi lending product is kind of a bottom-up technology. Like that's going to come from a bottom-up, like DeFi. The DeFi is being built like for it being adopted by these early adopters. But imagine taking a DeFi loan product and then offering it through an enterprise payment system.
Again, like I was saying about Aave and Uniswap, right? And those type of platforms, it's definitely from the bottom up. It's definitely community first, and then you venture to different things. And you can see how the likes of Uniswap and Aave and protocols like that are thriving. Absolutely thriving, like DeFi is thriving because of the bottom-up approach. I do find it interesting at this point in time in the digital asset space history that he talked about loans and DeFi loans. It ain't going away, and it's going to get better. Interesting to see in Ripple what they're going to do in the Celsius, what they're looking to do with the GK8 custody. Are they going to actually put in a bid for that loans product or the order book at Celsius? Who knows? It's just going to be interesting to see. We do know that they did apply to enter into the bankruptcy. We'll see where they're looking to get, what they're looking to eventually bid on if they get an opportunity to bid at all. So interesting stuff.
Because you got to get the money out from the loans. You got to make the payments in. People who are not totally blockchain savvy are going to need conventional connections into the DeFi ecosystem. Like you need on-ramps and off-ramps, and those are things that are best built top-down. So I think you do need both approaches.
I think it's such a fascinating discussion, and it really does span different industries.
One challenge that I do find interesting is you have to aim to where the market is. If it's going to take you a year to build a product, you can't build the product to where the market is now, and you don't know where the market is going to be. So payment system, and then the other.
Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. For sure. Mickey goes on to tweet. I won't play any more videos, but he goes on to tweet here as well. Absolute must-watch video to truly get understanding what's happening on the bottom-up side. 4 rounds of grants. Just talked about grants. 4 rounds of grants plus pre-allocated $1 billion XRP to fund development over the next 10 years. Dev comes exploding past you. Yeah. A massive effort is underway to enhance the XRPL and app development. Head of research and co-author of the XLS30D automated market maker on the XRP ledger, RippleX is building a best-in-class platform for developers to build a range of applications. RippleX is contributing to new cryptographic primitives and protocols to enhance and scale the XRP ledger. David Schwartz confirmed in video, Ripple's targeting top-down and bottom-up. There's a steady flow of info and a massive development effort underway and will ramp up through 2023. XRPL community participation, opportunities to deposit our XRP to single side of automated market maker pool. Our XRP, retail, participate in ecosystems. It's important to know. It's really, really, really important to understand. All right, guys, listen, this wraps up the XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. Sorry for the pauses. No, there's a couple of them. I hope it has been of value to you. If it has, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell so you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this.
Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it.